Hello, this is Dr. Raj Vuppalanchi, hepatologist at Indiana University Medical Center in Indianapolis, Indiana. I thank Dr. Lammert and Erin for inviting me to talk on the topic of sleep and how it relates to autoimmune liver disorders such as autoimmune hepatitis, primary biliary cholangitis, and primary sclerosing cholangitis. I would like to navigate you through this topic through first understanding the basics of sleep and terms used in this field. I'll then walk you through some literature that examine the relationship between sleep and health outcomes, sleep and immune function. We will then look at some of the work our group has done to examine the impact of sleep on the quality of life and non-liver related symptoms. Finally, I will leave you with some interventions in your control that you could improve to have better sleep. Good sleep is essential to good health. We spend approximately one third of our lives sleeping, and we can easily expect to spend approximately 25 years of our lives sleeping. Circadian rhythms are 24-hour cycles that are part of the body's internal clock, running in the background to carry out essential functions and processes. One of the most important and well-known circadian rhythms is the sleep-wake cycle. When properly aligned, a circadian rhythm can promote consistent and restorative sleep. Here you see the circadian rhythm for optimizing the sleep. It starts with starting your day by getting some sunlight. It increases the alertness. You have the best coordination and the fastest reaction time in the early afternoon. And then with the dimming of the lights, there is release of melatonin, which results in the induction of sleep. And the sleep has different cycles, which we'll get into the details. And then melatonin releases stops for the wake cycle. Melatonin, often referred to as the sleep hormone, is a central part of the body's sleep-wake cycle. Its production increases with evening darkness, promoting healthy sleep and helping to orient our circadian rhythm. The body naturally produces melatonin, but researchers and public have increasingly taken an interest in external sources of it, such as liquids or capsules, as a way to address sleep difficulties. Our household is not surprisingly like anybody else. We have tried melatonin, particularly when we travel to a different time zone. In the United States, melatonin is sold as a dietary supplement, and a survey in 2012 found out that it is one of the most commonly used supplements among both adults and children. However, it does not work for everyone. And as you see on the left, there are many other hormones that play a role in sleep, and it is possible that those hormones may not be in balance in those who do not respond to melatonin. This is the melatonin circadian rhythm. It starts the production in the evening with a decrease in the light. It peaks in the middle of the night and falls to normal daytime low by early morning. Sleep is a complex and dynamic process and affects how someone's function in ways scientists are now beginning to understand. However, for a long time, the field of sleep medicine was defined by disorders rather than what constitutes a quality sleep. More recently, the following criteria were put forth to define a quality sleep. This includes sleeping more time while in bed, which is at least 85% of the total time spent in the bed, falling asleep in 30 minutes or less, waking up no more than once per night, and being awake for 20 minutes or less after initially falling asleep. During the night, our sleep is marked by an alternation of four different stages. This is what we call sleep cycle. A hypnogram is a graph that represents the stages of sleep and a function of time. It helps to characterize the sleep quality. It lasts approximately 6 to 8 hours of sleep, and there are 4 to 5 different sleep cycles. Each sleep cycle itself is the progression through various stages of non-REM sleep to REM sleep. Typically, you have the first half of the sleep cycle wherein you have the non-REM sleep, which is deep, resulting in growth hormone release. And the second half is the REM sleep, where a lot of dreaming occurs. Let's get into more details. The non-rapid eye movement, non-REM sleep, is in various stages, stage 1 to 3. Stage 1 is the slightest sleep, stage 2 is the deeper sleep, and stage 3, previously 4, now combined into 3, is the deepest sleep. This stage of sleep primarily focuses is on the body. It promotes growth hormone, it promotes immune system restoration, tissue growth, and cell repair. In the stage 1, the muscles relax and sometimes may jerk, respiration slows, heart rate decreases, body temperature drops, and the sleep begins. 40 to 60% of the total sleep time is between stage 2 and stage 3. And as I said, stage 4 is the most restorative phase of the sleep. The rapid eye movement part of the sleep is where brain activity is high. Vivid dreams may occur. Approximately 2 hours each night is spent in dreaming. Most do not remember. Body becomes immobile to stop you from acting out dreams. Thank God. Most vivid in REM sleep. Some people dream in color, while others only recall dreams in black and white. I was surprised to see this book on Amazon, which is a dictionary for the dreams. And one of the thoughts for the explanation for the dreams is that the dreaming may help process the emotions, particularly events from the day, often invade the thoughts during sleep, and people suffering from stress or anxiety are more likely to have frightening dreams. There are several sleep disorders. These include disorders of sleeplessness, disorders of excessive sleepiness, circadian disorders, parasomnias, and others. You may need to see a sleep specialist for a proper diagnosis. For the purposes of this talk, though, I'm primarily focusing on sleep deficiency in a broader concept. It occurs if you have one or more of the following. You don't get enough sleep, you sleep at the wrong time of the day, you don't sleep well or get all of the different types of sleep, or you have a sleep disorder that prevents you from getting enough sleep or causes poor quality of sleep. Sleep plays a central role in growth and development, immune function, and optimal health. Many are familiar with what happens on a short-term basis with sleep deficiency. These include tardiness, absenteeism, loss of concentration, lack of attention to listening to others. You cannot solve problems. Decision-making capacity is decreased, and there is decreased attention, memory recall, and vigilance. However, Many do not realize the long-term consequences of sleep deficiency. This has been linked to depression, obesity, cardiovascular disease, aging, and increased mortality. Over the last 15 years, research following a systems approach of neuroimmunology has accumulated surprisingly strong evidence that sleep enhances immune defense and helps in heal. This is very similar to the popular wisdom that sleep helps healing. The basis of this is this bidirectional communication between the central nervous system and sleep with the immune system, which is mediated by shared signals, the neurotransmitters, hormones, the cytokines, and direct interventions of the immune system by the autonomic nervous system. This complex and bidirectional interaction between the brain through sleep and immune system can affect outcomes of health in more ways than we understand at this particular time. Our group, with Dr. Lamet as the lead author in this study, examined the use of CBD in patients with autoimmune hepatitis. This is a survey-based study. This was through Autoimmune Hepatitis Association members. And this survey showed around 371 subjects that met the study criteria. This is primarily from North America. 25% of the respondents used CBD for treatment of either pain, poor sleep, or fatigue. 62% of the users used it for sleep. It gives you a perspective that this is a problem requiring individuals to seek medication for better quality of sleep. In another study from our group, Dr. Gabriel examined the sleep quality and its effect on the quality of life. In this study, we found that most patients with advanced cirrhosis have disturbed sleep, almost 81%. As you see on the figure below, the worse the sleep category, the lower the CLDQ score, which is a marker for the quality of life. The more severe sleep disturbance category, the lower the CLDQ score, the lower the quality of life. On the top table, you will see that the predictors such as serum albumin, prescription narcotics, muscle cramps, and hepatic encephalopathy were associated with poor sleep. So, coming back to sleep disturbance that may occur in patients with autoimmune hepatitis, PBC, and PSC, the sleep disturbance could be related to the liver disease itself, especially when there are liver-related signs such as ascites, jaundice, hepatic encephalopathy, these symptoms affecting the quality of sleep. Sometimes non-liver related symptoms such as pain, fatigue, and itching, particularly in patients with PBC, may affect with sleep disturbance, result in sleep disturbance. And this sleep disturbance again results in cytokine dysregulation that may perpetuate the ongoing poor quality of life and poor sleep. So there is a lot of crosstalk that is happening between liver disease, medications to treat the liver disease, and its effect on sleep, in addition to patients' genetic makeup, their response to medications, and interaction with lifestyle, and particularly work responsibilities, family responsibilities, time required to pay attention to nutrition, pursuing exercise. Some individuals may be very sensitive to medications, they may not be able to tolerate, and their compliance with medications related to management of their liver disease may be low due to intolerance. All these is a very challenging and very dynamic process and may not be the same for everyone. So one has to pause and think to see what among these are modifiable and where the focus needs to be for a better quality of sleep. So what can we do to improve sleep? First of all, a good sleep hygiene is very important. Habits or interventions to improve sleep both in quantity, that is number of hours of sleep, and quality, that is REM and non-REM sleep with minimal awake cycles. And not everything may work for everybody, but general things include creating a caffeine cutoff time, block out all distracting noise and eliminate as much light as possible, avoid digital media in the bed, comfortable and inviting bedding. These are the 10 tips for better sleep recommended by World Sleep Society. What can you do with regard to the diet? I have already mentioned to you melatonin, which is the sleep hormone. Now, tryptophan is an essential amino acid and a precursor of serotonin and melatonin. Melatonin is the sleep hormone, serotonin is the mood hormone, and certain foods are very rich in tryptophan. These include nuts, seeds, tofu, cheese, red meat, chicken, fish, oats, and eggs. It is estimated that the recommended daily intake for adults is between 250 to 425 milligrams per day of tryptophan, which is not a lot, but sometimes when you don't pay attention, you may not get that much of tryptophan. And particularly if you have sleep disorder, sleep deprivation, you might have to consume more doses of tryptophan in diet. Then there are medications. Here, narcotics, although widely used for pain control, may have sedative properties. Then there are barbiturates, which have sedative and anesthetic properties. Then there are benzodiazepines, which are mostly used as hypnotics but also have sedative properties. Unfortunately, none of these induce natural sleep pattern. And then you have melatonin, which is weakly hypnotic, and then serotonin precursor tryptophan, which is weakly hypnotic. Both, however, induce natural sleep patterns. There is now prescription digital therapy or therapeutics for sleep. This provides cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia alongside personalized algorithm-generated sleep restriction recommendations. It's called Somerset. It's a tailored CBT. It's delivered over a course of 9 weeks to a smartphone, tablet, or a similar device. It's for adults and it's only available by prescription from a licensed healthcare provider. So the current understanding is that poor sleep is very common in people with liver disease. Poor sleep is synonymous with poor quality of life, and in poor sleep, the immune system is not regulated well, resulting in poor health outcomes. We think that the improved sleep may help improve quality of life and health outcomes, but this is an area that needs to be studied. So, what can you do? You can improve sleep through sleep hygiene, diet rich in tryptophan, use of melatonin, and address any other conditions that would interfere with good sleep, and then seek treatment, particularly from a sleep specialist when necessary. I've also provided you with some video links to understand more about sleep and its effect on health. And thank you for your time.